As layoffs hit PeaceHealth, how one former employee expects it to impact your care.
And we speak with Senator Merkley as the government shutdown closes in on a month.
Stopping the strain before it starts, a Roseburg couple concerned over customers losing SNAP benefits comes up with a plan.
KVAL News at 5 starts now.
Thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Brandon Kamerman.
And I'm Kendall Bartley. We have new information coming into our newsroom just now. Governor Tina Kotek declaring a food emergency in Oregon tonight, immediately directing $5 million be distributed to food banks throughout the state.
The declaration essentially activates state agencies to respond by ensuring emergency food can reach families in need, especially in the hardest hit rural areas.
Now, in her statement, the governor says, quote, "While the Republican-controlled Congress fails to do its job, Oregon will do ours. We stand up for each other, whether it's fires, floods, or any other crisis. I call on all Oregonians to do what they can to help their neighbors."
Our kids went to school here. We see it every day. So anything we can do to help to make our community a better place, we would like to do that.
And a Roseburg grocery store is doing exactly that, helping neighbors, saying it is ready to take action if the SNAP program does take a hit as expected in a couple days. The owners of Grocery Outlet in Roseburg say they're doing what they can to help those who rely on SNAP. In Douglas County, that's nearly 18% of households. KVAL's Gold Meadows has more.
Roseburg's Grocery Outlet isn't waiting on state or federal action on SNAP benefits. The owners of the store have come up with a plan to help customers if their benefits don't post next month. The government shutdown is closing in on the 1-month mark and is expected to delay or even stop hundreds of thousands of SNAP payouts in Oregon. Douglas County Health Department says 1 in 3 children are food insecure in the county, and Stephen Kelly Burton say it's up to the community to help get those families nutritious foods. They hope offering a 10% discount to SNAP customers will ease the burden.
Oregon's average is 18% using EBT. So that's a huge impact to people, not just that are on EBT, but the people that work jobs that take EBT. That's going to reduce it for everybody. It hurts everybody. This way we can still help those people make ends meet.
The discount on all groceries will start on November 1st through the end of November until funds pay out. The Burtons are working with the Department of Human Services and Family, Faith and Relationship Advocates, or FARA, to hold food drives at the store on November 4th and 5th. One shopper we spoke with says, like the Burtons, he believes it's the community's job to step in during tough times.
Clients that I've dealt with in the past and still deal with, that they survive off of those benefits. I hear a lot of excuses about people saying, well, they should be working for what they get. When you can't work and you have to take care of your kids, that's not an option. And I think our government right now is not fulfilling the...
Donations from the November food drive will go to DHS and FARA, and the store also provides donations every year to the Fish Food Pantry and the Roseburg Dream Center. Reporting in Roseburg, I'm Gold Meadows, sending it back to you in the studio.
All right, thank you, Gold. The owners of Grocery Outlets say they're using money that's earmarked for the store's marketing and promotion budget in order to offer this discount. Shoppers just have to show their EBT card at checkout. We'll have a look on at the impacts on SNAP funds ending in rural communities in just a few moments.
Meanwhile, food banks are expecting an influx of people asking for assistance as the future of SNAP benefits remains uncertain. Food for Lane County saying that while they want to help everyone they can, there's a limit.
We cannot make up the difference by ourselves, and we don't pretend to try and make up the difference. In this country, SNAP money is the first line of defense against hunger, and without that, there will be a lot of missed meals.
Starting tomorrow, the organization holding a donation drive at 5th Street Market. It's part of the Halloween Haunted Market event, so all of the shops there will be handing out treats for kids. Donations are encouraged, with Food for Lane County asking for $5 cash or three cans of food per kid. Both days of the Haunted Market will start at 4 p.m. and end at 6 p.m. It ends on Friday.
In my state of Oregon, you're talking about 210,000 children. You're talking about 130,000 seniors. All told, over 700,000 people going without food. Congress said this should never happen. So we created a contingency fund. That fund has $5 billion in it.
Oregon Senator Jeff Merkley demanding that Congress use that contingency fund to address SNAP benefits that are set to end. Senator Merkley also calling out the Trump administration for what he says are authoritarian actions. This comes less than a week after the lawmaker completed a 22-hour marathon speech on the Senate floor, speaking about the administration's actions. Merkley said he essentially dehydrated himself for 2 days ahead of the speech because he wasn't allowed to even take a bathroom break during the 22 hours. So I asked him, was all of that worth it?
Well, it did have an impact. Massive number of news outlets across the country picked it up and talked about why I was doing it. Massive numbers of people posted it on their sites in order to say, yay, somebody's standing up for defending our democracy against this authoritarian takeover. And so I hope it amplified what people were doing, the 7 million people were doing on No King's Day, and it certainly seemed to have.
I also spoke with Senator Merkley, going a little bit deeper on the administration not using those SNAP contingency funds when food assistance does plan to run out this weekend.
They have decided deliberately to attack the most vulnerable families in America. This is a billionaires thrive and a families to hell with you agenda from the President of the United States. He's deliberately hurting children across the country. In Oregon, 210,000 children will be going without sufficient food this coming month because the President decided to do so despite the law and despite the funding that he has for this purpose.
Merkley also co-sponsored a bill today to pay federal employees, federal contractors, and service members during the shutdown.
Meanwhile, rural Oregon food banks say they're already strained. Federal food shipments and donations are shrinking while more families than ever are turning to local food pantries to help. Salem Bureau reporter Vasily Varlamos live for us now in Dallas. Vasily, rural Oregonians rely on SNAP more than urban areas?
Yes, Kendall, according to an Oregon State University study, the rural food insecurity rate from 2021 to 2023 was 20.7% compared to 12% in urban areas. Rural food banks on both sides of the Cascade say they're stretched thin and more struggles are likely ahead. At the Dallas Food Bank, there are more empty shelves than there usually are.
With the increase of the families coming in and the decrease of food coming from the federal government, kind of clashes with each other.
Treasurer Eddie Nelson says the food bank is receiving 1,500 pounds less food each month after a cutback in USDA food aid earlier this year.
It's getting a little crazy out there.
At the same time, more families are coming in, many for the first time, as grocery prices and rent continue to rise. Nelson says the food bank has already had to spend more on basic necessities. Proteins have been the hardest to come by.
A lot more meat that I've never had to purchase before. So kind of blew our budget, but hopefully we'll make it through this.
It's a similar story on the other side of the Cascades. Agape House, which now serves over 1,000 families in Umatilla County, says donations from the Oregon Food Bank have fallen to a third of last year's supply.
We're not blaming them. If they have less food, then they share less.
Board member Kathy Putnam says 43% of the community has financial problems and 21% of that is child poverty. With the impending suspension of SNAP, both organizations say they are doing what they can to prepare. But they say they won't be able to meet the demand without help from the community.
You do not have to be financially well off to help others. And I've found that the more you help others, the more good feeling you have.
Nelson says the food bank is already saving food for Thanksgiving. It budgeted for 200 people, but over 275 people have already signed up for help during the holidays. Live in Dallas, Vasily Varlamos, KVAL News.
All right, thank you so much for that report, Vasily, something we're going to continue to monitor. Meanwhile, we are learning more tonight about PeaceHealth and the amount of layoffs that they are having and how it's impacting employees at Riverbend Hospital in Springfield.
You're just not going to get the same quality of care that you would otherwise be getting.
So you would say your opinion would be that the patients will feel an impact, you think?
Oh, 100%.
We spoke with a PeaceHealth employee today who wishes to remain anonymous, reacting to the news of widespread layoffs across the company, including herself, saying she was informed during a mandatory meeting yesterday morning that she would not work there as of Friday. The company announced yesterday that 2.5% of its workforce across Oregon, Washington, and Alaska will be fired. The employee that we spoke with says she could sense that cuts were coming.
I'm not in a client-facing or a patient-facing position. So as a non-clinical employee, I knew that there was definitely some possibilities that I would not be considered as needed in the future when revenues are tight. I know that they're making hard decisions. I don't know that they're the right decisions, but I do know that, you know, their mission is really to serve our community, and they're sort of between a rock and a hard place.
Now, we did reach out to PeaceHealth to learn just how many employees at Riverbend would be impacted by these cuts. The company released a statement that reads in part that the layoffs, quote, reflect the ongoing need to transform and modernize our operations in response to the rapidly changing healthcare landscape. And with that, we are asking you at home, are you concerned about access to your health care? So far, over 100 people saying yes, just over 70 saying no. If you'd like to take part in this poll, scan the QR code on your screen or head to our website, kval.com. Once again, this poll is anonymous.
Well, we are preparing for some wet weather to return. We've had some dry days, though, the last couple days.
Well, we have. Actually, the good thing is the rainfall that we had last night, neither one of you probably noticed it because it happened after most everybody went to bed last night. Of course, kind of a late night for me, so I saw the rainfall start for our area, and we're going to see some more rain as we get to the upcoming weekend. Let's show you what's going on right now, though. We're at 59 degrees in Eugene under a sunny sky. It is a little windy out there. North wind at 16, and our humidity level right now is at 60%. Take a look at the radar satellite. Not a lot to show you because we are looking at clear skies. Once that rainfall moved out of the area, things started clearing out this morning. We saw a lot of sunshine for the afternoon. Now, as we look ahead toward tonight and into your day on Thursday, we're going to be looking at that cloud cover increasing again tomorrow. We'll see some fog to get your day off to a start. Overnight temperatures will be in the upper 30s to low 40s, and those highs tomorrow ranging from the upper 50s to mid 60s. Now again, fog tomorrow morning. This is basically for the Willamette Valley, and that cloud cover is going to start out the day. It'll start to increase as we get later in the day. We are looking at a slight rain chance for your Halloween evening, but a better chance of rain as we get into late Friday night and Saturday. I'll break it all down with your full forecast in just a bit.
Thank you, Alan. Well, tonight, should the city of Eugene ban drivers from giving money to panhandlers while stopped at an intersection? That is a question up for debate at a planned public hearing. The proposed ban would penalize drivers for passing items to pedestrians unless the vehicle is legally parked. It's something that has been in effect in Springfield since 2016. In Monday's work session, Eugene city councilors were split on the issue. Some saying the ordinance is necessary to ensure public safety, others saying there are bigger safety issues on city streets.
And so I don't believe that this ordinance would be successful at making an impact on the number of serious injury or fatality crashes on our streets. And I can't support us investing resources and time in this.
Nobody's saying in this proposition that people cannot donate to people. It's just get out of the travel lane. It shouldn't be done in the middle of the street. It poses a danger to the motorists, it poses a danger to pedestrians, and it also disrupts traffic flow. It doesn't mean somebody can't pull off of a street and still make a donation.
The issue will now be the topic of discussion at an upcoming public hearing. The date for that hearing has not been set.